Everyone thinks they know tech, but a lot of what people believe about PCs, phones, and software is completely wrong. Closing apps doesn't save battery. More RAM won't make your PC faster, and your strong password might already be useless. You're probably following tech tips that stopped being true years ago. Let me show you the tech lies costing you speed, money, and security. Today, we're breaking down the biggest tech myths you should stop believing and what actually matters instead. I'm Getter. Let's dive in. Myth 1. Closing apps saves battery and performance. This is one of the most common myths. People constantly swipe apps away, close background programs, and force stop everything, thinking it makes their device faster. In reality, modern operating systems are designed to manage this for you. On phones, apps in the background are usually paused, not running. On Windows, background apps are often cached in RAM so they can open faster later. Force closing apps actually makes things worse. Reopening them uses more CPU, more power, and more battery. The truth is simple. Let the system handle memory. Close apps only if they are frozen or misbehaving. Myth 2. More RAM always means better performance. Yes, RAM matters, but more RAM does not automatically mean faster performance. If your system uses 8 GB and never exceeds it, upgrading to 32 GB will not suddenly make everything faster. Performance bottlenecks usually come from slow storage, weak CPUs, thermal throttling, and background processes. RAM only helps when you are running out of it. Otherwise, it just sits there, unused. The real upgrade most systems need is an SSD, not more RAM. Myth 3. Antivirus software makes your PC safer. This one surprises a lot of people. Modern antivirus software often adds background scanning, system hooks, real-time monitoring, and network inspection. All of that costs performance and can increase input lag. Windows Defender is already built into Windows, constantly updated and deeply integrated into the OS. For most users, it is more than enough. Installing extra antivirus software usually adds bloat, not protection. Good habits beat antivirus. Don't download shady files, don't click random links, and keep your system updated. That's real security. Myth 4. High DPI always reduces input lag. This myth is everywhere in gaming communities. People say higher DPI equals lower input lag. That is not how it works. DPI changes sensitivity, not latency. Input lag is affected by polling rate, USB latency, CPU scheduling, and frame timing. In fact, extremely high DPI can increase jitter or make aim less consistent for many players. The correct approach is use a DPI that feels comfortable, adjust sensitivity in-game, focus on stable frame times. Smoothness beats numbers. Myth 5. You must fully charge and fully drain batteries. This myth refuses to die. Modern lithium-ion batteries do not like full cycles. Charging to 100% and draining to 0 stresses the battery. The healthiest range is roughly 20% to 80%. That is why modern phones now include optimized charging, charge limits, and battery protection modes. Using these features can add years to your battery's lifespan. You are not helping your battery by abusing it. Myth 6. Wireless is always slower than wired. This used to be true. It no longer is. Modern wireless mice and keyboards use high polling rates, low latency protocols, and dedicated receivers. In many cases, they match or beat cheap wired peripherals. The real enemy is poor signal quality, cheap Bluetooth, crowded USB hubs, weak Wi-Fi. A good wireless device is not slow. A bad connection is. Myth 7. Task Manager usage means a problem. People see CPU at 30%, RAM at 60%, disk activity happening, and they panic. Resource usage is not a problem. Unused hardware is wasted hardware. Operating systems use spare resources to cache data, preload apps, improve responsiveness. High usage only matters when performance is bad. If everything feels smooth, your system is doing its job. Myth 8. Newer software always runs worse on old hardware. Not always. Many modern apps are actually more optimized than older versions. The problem is usually background services, telemetry, or bloated settings. A clean system with modern software can run better than an old system filled with legacy junk. Optimization matters more than age. Myth 9. FPS is all that matters. High FPS looks impressive, but it is not the full story. Frame pacing matters more. Input latency matters more. 1% lows matter more. A game at 90 FPS with stable frame times feels smoother than a game at 140 FPS with stutters. Chasing numbers instead of consistency is a mistake. Myth 10. Factory settings are always optimal. Manufacturers tune systems for battery life, noise, stability, marketing benchmarks, not performance. Default settings are safe, not optimal. Tweaking power plans and disabling unnecessary services and choosing the right display modes can dramatically change how responsive a system feels. Out of the box does not mean out of potential. Bonus myth 1. Using strong passwords is enough. This is one of the most dangerous myths in modern security. People think that as long as their password is long, complex, and full of symbols, they are safe. They are not. Here's why. Even the strongest password is useless if 1. It's reused across multiple sites, 2. It gets leaked in a data breach, 3. It's typed into a fake or compromised website, and 4. Malware records it once and stores it forever. Most account takeovers don't happen because passwords are weak. They happen because passwords get reused and leaked. When one service is breached, attackers try the same login everywhere else: email, social media, gaming accounts, banking portals. That is called credential stuffing, and it works frighteningly well. This is why security today is less about memorizing passwords and more about managing them correctly. Using unique passwords for every site, a password manager to generate and store them, or 3. Two-factor authentication where possible. That combination is far more secure than any single strong password. So the myth isn't just wrong, it's outdated. Modern security isn't about remembering passwords, it's about never needing to remember them at all. Bonus myth 2. Windows Defender makes your PC slow. This one gets repeated everywhere, and it's mostly wrong. The truth is, modern Windows Defender is not the performance killer it used to be. On today's systems, Defender is integrated directly into Windows, optimized at the kernel level, and smarter about when it scans and when it stays out of the way. In normal use, Windows Defender runs quietly in the background and only becomes active when something actually looks suspicious. Where this myth comes from is older hardware or poorly configured systems. On very weak PCs or systems with heavy background tasks already running, Defender scans can feel noticeable. But that doesn't mean Defender itself is bad or broken. The real issue is timing and configuration, not raw performance. And here's the important part most people miss. Disabling Windows Defender completely does not magically make your PC faster. In many cases, it actually makes things worse. Once Defender is off, malware has a much easier time running in the background, and malware causes far more slowdowns, stutters, and instability than Defender ever will. The smarter approach is balance. Let Defender handle real-time protection. Schedule scans for times you are not gaming or working. And if you want more advanced protection, layer it with additional security instead of removing it. So no, Windows Defender is not the enemy. misconfiguration and misinformation are. Final thoughts. Tech myths spread because they sound logical, but modern systems are far more complex than they used to be. Blindly following old advice can waste money, reduce performance, and shorten hardware lifespan. Understanding how your device actually works is the real upgrade. If this video cleared up even one misconception, it did its job. If you want a follow-up covering gaming myths, Windows myths, or phone myths in more detail, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.